Now, onto the trucking industry and what's happening, which has just gone in a totally different direction since mid last year, I would say. And the trucking economy, there is just so much demand out there and not enough supply. I found truckstop.com said there is about, in early April, 60 loads per truck, and the baseline for the past 3 years has been 10 loads per truck. So you can see truckers are increasing their rates. There's also the electronic logging device mandate, which is a safety feature for the transport trucking industry world to keep drivers in hours of compliance. Hours of compliance is how much time a driver can be on duty before taking a mandatory rest period. And it's 660 minutes or 11 hours. But that includes time waiting at the terminal to pick up the empty container, waiting at the supplier's warehouse to unload, waiting time for fuel. So they need to turn a certain amount of cargo. So where this really impacts is in the longer haul market. So anything about 450 miles, it used to be like a 1 day, you could do it in a day. Now it's taking 2 days. And don't forget, our highway infrastructure and congestions all feed into this piece. So what you should really look at, especially if you work in markets like Chicago, Memphis, Atlanta, those are really tight capacity markets, but you're going to simply have to do more advanced planning. I mean, trying to pick up a last minute trucker, you're going to pay a premium for that because they have plenty of options. So 5 to 7 days is great. It's much better to make sure you have the capacity. Also, if you're bringing in import, we can kind of see when the freight is coming. So that allows us to work with providers and say, hey, we've got this amount ready for you as well. Now, the Journal of Commerce posted something that was really nice about warehouses being the shipper of choice, because warehouses get a reputation in the trucking world. So you want to have warehouses that will be flexible with their delivery windows, or use appointments, or do drop and hook operations, or even have driver amenities so that there's Google ratings on warehouse. So bear that in mind. Now, the other option is certainly when the over-the-road market is so tough, then what about rail? Now, rail has always been a viable option for some markets. It's not for everyone. Certainly it doesn't make sense in very short haul moves, but there has been a lot of infrastructure investment in rail, but you still have to consider that you have trucking at the origin and the destination. So bear that in mind. The transit time is much improved now that the hours of service compliance is in place, and it's always been more cost economical as an option. So talk with your providers and say, if you're doing inland areas, this might be an option for you.